All right, and we're back with the program. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here with the Pop Culture Cosmos. We truly appreciate everyone listening and also everybody that's watching us on Facebook Live. I want to thank so much everyone for checking us out here. If you get a chance, please go ahead and check out what we have at Pop Culture Cosmos on Facebook or our shows on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel everywhere you get your podcasts. Well, I finally got her. I finally tracked her down. Finally was able to get her back on the program after some delay to talk about the future of a certain whole franchise that was once one of the storied franchises in all of entertainment. It saw some hard times, but there could be some good things in the future going forward. And here today to talk about The Walking Dead is none other than one of my favorite people out there. She is the commander and chief of the Walking Dead fan base. You got to go ahead and check out what they're doing today at one of the largest fan bases available for The Walking Dead, and that is the Walking Dead fan base Facebook group. There you go ahead and check out there, or Talking the Dead 18 plus, that Facebook group as well. It is Daphine Matthew, and Daphne, great to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me back. So, well, I'm sure the internet and Facebook groups have been ablaze for the last week or so with the announcement from AMC that the flagship show, The Walking Dead, will be ending in 2022 with season 11.
Mm-hmm. Kind of the reason why I wanted to talk to you in the first place. But yeah, we mentioned that here on the show a couple of weeks ago. And I know that's something of great interest as far as how they're going to go ahead and close out the series. But I also said at the time, and we'll get into this with a minute with some other things that they're doing, but they're kind of closing the show, but they're not really kind of closing the show because some major characters will be going somewhere else in the Walking Dead timeline, so to speak. But we'll talk about that later. But right now, your thoughts on them finally, the main show, The Walking Dead.
The flagship show, I knew it was ending in 2022. So the announcement really was a surprise. It was supposed to end with season of and all production stopping for 6 months or so. They decided they're still going to end it in 2022, but it's only going to be 11 seasons. Now, the good news about this is that we're getting 6 additional episodes in season 10 in early 2021. And then the last season is going to be 24 episodes. That is huge. And the reason they're doing that is that they lost almost a whole year of filming. They usually start in April, and now it's going into October, and they're just starting to film the final 6 episodes of season 10 because they extended that season. So they really line as far as filming and, getting the show out there to the audience. They also haven't even finished the 6th season of Fear the Walking Dead. They're supposed to be finishing up that also in October. One of the reasons why they decided to end the show in 2022 wasn't no surprise like I said, to me, because being an avid fan of The Walking Dead, you listen to the noise in the background, and way back in season 3, when AMC used to do season premiere specials, they had all the stars they polled all the stars in 3 and asked them, when should The Walking Dead end, the flagship show? And everybody said season 12. So I pretty much was not shocked when the announcement came. Because if you think about it, they're going in the same direct comics right now, and to be the Commonwealth story are a good part of it. And their plan was all along with the new introduction of the new show, The World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead season 6, was to combine all those shows and have it lead in the last season of The Walking Dead, lead in to the first Rick Grimes movie. They're trying to stay in that arena. So The World Beyond has already been announced. It's only going to be 2 seasons. So that's going to end when The Walking Dead ends. Fear the Walking Dead, it's not going to last past this season. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because this season, from what I'm hearing, unfortunately, our main spoiler site closed down in May, so we're not getting spoilers. But from what I'm hearing from other sources is that season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead is going to be like, it's going to be crazy. I know Sherry is coming back. And if people have been paying attention to the promos, you see something is going on with Morgan. I don't know what that is, but it's weird. And like I
so
said,
you
Sherry's
think he's
coming
going
back.
to live? So you think he's going
No,
to
I
live?
No.
As we have told you before, Lenny James is a tremendous actor, and if he goes, whatever base you have left, a large portion will probably go with it because he's really the still the character that's keeping it afloat, in my opinion.
Unfortunately, I don't believe Lenny James will survive season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. There's been rumors since it was announced that Andrew Lincoln was leaving 2 years ago that Morgan would never survive to know what happened with Rick. So if things are going the way it's going to go with Fear the Walking Dead this season, Dwight is going to be the one to bring whoever survives season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead into season 11. Fear the Walking Dead. He's going to bring them back to season 11 of The Walking Dead. Lenny, I love him, met him in person, wonderful guy. He's not going to survive the season. There's been hints at it. The thing with the red eyes is kind of eerie, and the beard, because if you look at it, Morgan is not. If you looked at whatever promos they've been throwing out there lately, Morgan is not the same Morgan we've known over the last 8 or 9 years. He looks different, but I would bet the farm that he doesn't make it out of this season of Fear the Walking Dead. So, unfortunately, that is it.
But with what you're talking about, you're stating that AMC, Angela Kang, who you've been highly supportive of at times in regard to conversations, in regards to how she's directed the universe after what's gone on, that she's going to direct all 3 of these shows, The Walking Dead, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead, all together to merge into that final season. So you think that The Walking Dead season 11, in that culmination of 24 episodes, will have the blend of The Walking Dead, World Beyond, and Fear the Walking Dead all in one spot?
Absolutely. There's been rumors since, I'm going to say, early this year that there will be a final confrontation between the characters Dwight and Daryl at the Commonwealth. Now, if you know the comics, and if you read the comics, you know what happens at the Commonwealth. You know what happens to Dwight. So I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but Dwight does end up at the Commonwealth. So give that little bit of information, since that's been coming out all over YouTube since before the world shut down, this has been stated since January that there will be a final confrontation between Dwight and Daryl at the Commonwealth. it is pretty much a given that Fear the Walking Dead, the end of the season 6 will have them somewhere either to going towards wherever TWD is supposed to be, or somewhere on that road. They're either going to be at the Commonwealth or encounter people from the Commonwealth, or they're going to be on their way to the Commonwealth after they reunite. I don't know how this group is going to ever reunite, because if you saw season 5, you know they have been scattered all over the place. I have no idea how they're going to pull that off, but whoever survives season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead will end up in season 11 of Dead. So that's that. And the World Beyond, the premise behind the World Beyond was that it would lead into the final season of The Walking Dead and the first Rick Grimes movie. The rumor is, and this is the rumor that I've been hearing lately, is that Andrew Lincoln will be reprising his role as Rick Grimes in the final season of The Walking Dead. He might show up at the end. He might show up before the end, but the rumor is that he will somehow, some way, all these 3 stories are going to emerge in the final season of The Walking Dead. Now, the one thing we haven't talked about in 2 weeks, the season finale of The Walking Dead. What is going to happen in the finale? The reason why we're calling it the finale, because we already know that there's going to be 6 additional episodes in 2021, is that this was supposed to be the season finale. What is the little birds whispering about what's going to happen in the finale? Well, I know for a fact there's going to be a final confrontation between someone in Alexandria, I don't know who it is yet, and Beta. If you've seen the promo shots, you know that Beta is leading the mega herd towards Alexandria for the final confrontation. Lately, there's been a lot of stories about possibly Daryl dying in the finale. I would normally not put credence to it, because they've been having Daryl die since every season since season 5. But when you get somebody like Scott Gimple chime in on these rumors, you got to kind of give a little bit of credence to it lately. Is it possible we can lead into this now. Is it possible with the Daryl and Carol spinoff that Daryl could possibly die in the season finale in season 10 of The Walking Dead? Well, it is possible. And the reason why I'm saying it's possible is because nobody knows where this spinoff, at what time this spinoff is going to take place. It could be before the Rick Grimes movies. It could be them going to look for Rick. There is nothing out there about what this spinoff is supposed to be, other than Daryl and Carol are going to get a spinoff. So I'm going to say, if I was a betting person, I'd give it 46. That it's a show. I highly doubt it. What I'm seeing, because there's a specific scene in the promos where you see Daryl in the herd, and it looks like there's one of the whisperers coming up behind him. I'm thinking that could be Connie. We haven't seen Connie since, when was it? Episode 9, when they were in the cave?
A long time.
So, yeah, we haven't seen Connie for a long time. So I'm going there and saying that it could be Connie coming up behind him because, first of all, Connie can't talk, and whoever's coming up, whatever's coming up behind Daryl, is actually a whisperer. That much has been confirmed. So, could it be Connie? I think it is. I think we will finally see Connie in this season finale. Now, as far as deaths go, who is going to die in this season finale in 2 weeks? What are your guesses, Gerald?
It could be anyone. I mean, anyone is fair game at this point. Like you said, to me, outside of Daryl and Carol, because Daryl and Carol, yeah, you say that the timeline could be anywhere as far as for their show, but I'm still the opinion that they are the two marquee names in the show at this point in time. So I think that there's pretty much on safe ground, but for everybody else, they're fair game. They're fair game, and they will get, as you know, The Walking Dead does. They give them their pink slip literally as they read it on the script. So yeah, they don't usually know ahead of time unless they're asking out.
They don't know ahead of time.
Yeah, unless they're asking out of the show, they won't. They don't know ahead of time.
Yeah, that's pretty true. So the season finale, I'm going to give a few guesses as to who I think may die in that finale. From what I'm reading, Luke is going to die. I am still sitting on the fence between Ezekiel, and Father Gabriel. One of those three has to die.
You said Rosita, correct?
But I said Rosita, yes.
Well, remember, she's doing the Netflix special. She's doing that Netflix series. So she, again, is one of those actors in this series that is being distracted by other works. So she is a definite possibility because she's playing the Selena character.
But the big debate right now is who is going to get the epic Father Gabriel death from the comics. It won't be Ezekiel because Ezekiel, for some reason, I don't still understand the cancer thing, why they gave him cancer. If they would, this is the one thing I don't agree with the show. If they were going to kill off Ezekiel anyways in season 10, I would have rather had Ezekiel piped back in season 9 as opposed to giving him cancer. I think that's a cop-out, and I don't know the reason why they kept on the entire season 10 because really his storyline kind of faded to the background in season 10. He really hasn't done much, so to give him cancer, it's kind of like, okay, well, we don't have any other options of what to do with him, so we'll just give him cancer and kill him off that way. If it was me, if I was Angela Kang, I would have piped him. I at least him. Maybe keep Rosita around a while, but I would have piped him. So that's just me. Father Gabriel and Rosita. If I was a gambling person, I'm going to place my bets on it being Rosita, which will be hard and sad because of what happened with Sadiq, but I think they're going to kill her off. I know Luke is definitely a goner. I had Luke and his girlfriend, the girl he was flirting with back in season 9. The other person I'm thinking because in the season finale, there's going to be a big. Thinking Alden's going to die because Aaron has taken over some Rick's role. he even lost his hand like Rick did in the comics. So, and he's starting to look like Rick. So I don't think they're going to kill Aaron off. Alden's going to go. So I have a few predictions about who may die in the season finale. We'll see in 2 weeks if I'm right or wrong. But I know there are other things you want to talk about, like the spinoff.
Well, actually,
Beyond.
that's what I'm going to close our show with, is the World Beyond and the spinoff. So I just want to go ahead and say, if you want to leave your opinion on who might die coming up here in very short period of time, in a couple of weeks, go ahead and share your opinion on where she's at. And that is the Walking Dead fan base on Facebook, where so many tens of thousands of fans are at right now, every single day, gathering right there at the Walking Dead fan base on Facebook. So if you want to share your opinion on who's going to live, who's going to die, who should live, and who should die, and the future for the Walking Dead as far as the series is concerned, or the shows that are always coming out, go ahead and be a part of the conversation today at the Walking Dead fan base. So I want to close our conversation with what's going on with the Walking Dead World Beyond. Why should people check it out? And then also, as you said, that show is closing down in a couple of years and culminating and ending along with the other shows right as the end of The Walking Dead is near. And people say, oh, yes, The Walking Dead is finally over. Or is it? Because I don't think it is, because when you're having a spin-off show the next year after that with Daryl and Carol play at any point in time in the timeline, The Walking Dead really isn't ending. It's just continuing on with it with a fancy new cover.
The Walking Dead is the Star Trek of this generation.
You got that right. Excellent. Excellent.
If you're older, let's say older, everybody knows that Star Trek in some way, shape, or form has been around for, oh my God, 55 years or so, close to 60 years.
It's older than me, just barely.
Yeah, it's older than me too, but the flagship show ended in 1968, I do believe. And here we are in 2020. And if you go to CBS Access, they have two shows. One of them, Sasha is on.
They've got Discovery, Picard, and also Star Trek Lower Decks.
Discovery.
And you've got another show on the way.
We're talking about 57 years later, Star Trek is still around. I believe the same is possible for The Walking Dead. If I'm going to say it this way, if they do it right. People with too much too soon. Okay. We had The Walking Dead and then we had Fear the Walking Dead come on. And now here we are in 2020, we have The World Beyond. That is smart programming. You don't want to overwhelm everybody. I mean, flood people with so many shows where they're just tired of them. If you honestly look at any of the boards today, when the announcement came that The Walking Dead was ending in less than 2 years, a lot of people were okay with it. I'm going to say it's a 50-50 split. A lot of people are upset about it, of course, because this show has been, our mainstay for 10 years now. But then a lot of people are saying that it was time. Not because the storyline has weakened, because actually the storyline in season 10 has been 9 and 10 has been up to par with, I'm going to say, season 5. So, it's getting better, but it is time to end it. Fear the Walking Dead has had its problems, especially after Nick was killed off and Madison was killed off. And then they decided to go this Western route, which was, to me, a little bit extreme with the Wild Wild West. But they're promising that season 6 is going to be something like The Walking Dead, which I will be watching. And then we have another story about with The World Beyond, with children that were born in the apocalypse, not children like Carl who grew up in the apocalypse. But these are people that actually never knew the world before the apocalypse. So they're moving in the right direction. And then after all this is said and done, and all these 3 shows will I'm guaranteeing you, all 3 shows will be done when The Walking Dead ends in 2022. We have the Daryl and Carol spinoff. Nobody knows what this storyline is going to be. There is rumors that there will be a Beta spinoff into his background. There are rumors that there will be a Negan spinoff. And then, of course, we have the 3 Rick Grimes movies that has been promised since 2018. So I think if AMC does it wisely, the Walking Dead universe as it stands will be around a long time. Maybe after some of us have moved on in life. It could be another Star Trek, in my opinion, if they do it wisely. And if they don't get greedy. The one thing they have to be careful about is that outside the comics, there are a lot of other stories. There is the governor's story. There is the Negan backstory. There is Michonne's backstory. There is Tyrese's backstory. If they do it wisely, like with Star Trek, it could be around another 50 years, but they have to plan it wisely. They can't overwhelm the audience with so much too quickly. They have to take baby steps. I think doing a Daryl and Carol spinoff is very wise, because for those 2 characters that not have been, Daryl specifically, not in the comics, they created that role because they didn't see Norman Reedus playing Merle. He auditioned for Merle originally, and he didn't fit the mold of Merle, so they decided to create Daryl. So he was never in the comics. And for the other character, Carol, who died early in the comics and who was totally psycho, to see those 2 characters be the mainstay, and I'll put it this way, the future of the show, says a lot. That Angela Kang, Scott Gimple, and the audience on a whole, who have grown to love these 2 characters more than Rick, more than Michonne, even more than Morgan, I'll say. To see that these 2 characters who should have been minor characters be, how should I say, the carriers of the torch. They're going to lead this show into the future after the main show ends, says a lot. So we're going to see what happens, but in 2 weeks we have the projected season finale of The Walking Dead, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely, indeed. Once again, I'm talking to the awesome Daphine Matthew. You got to check out what she's doing today at the Walking Dead fan base on Facebook, plus also as well Talking the Dead 18 plus, where you, on both of those awesome groups, can go ahead and be part of the conversation and share your thoughts on the future of the Walking Dead series, who might be killed off, who might survive, who you want to survive, and how you want the series to go. Share your opinions today at the Walking Dead fan base and Talking the Dead 18 plus. Well, Daphne, it's been awesome having you on, giving you everyone out there an update on what's going on with the future of The Walking Dead, as only you can tell it, because you have the inside more than anybody that's not inside, that's shooting in Georgia right now. Well, that's shooting in Georgia right now. How about that? That's shooting in Georgia. Or working at AMC.
This week. They actually just went back to Georgia this week.
No, there you go. There you go. I tell you what, you're more knowledgeable than anyone out there as far as what's going on with The Walking Dead. That's not working for AMC or not getting checks from AMC. How about that? Not getting checks from AMC.
Not getting checks.
Well, if you
Not
are getting
getting
checks from
checks.
AMC, well, if
I
you are getting
wish.
checks from AMC, more power to you, if that would be the case.
Nah, I just know people.
There you go.
But if anybody who's listening is interested, we will be having a live discussion during the finale in 2 weeks on both boards. You can join in, and we can all sit there and debate and support each other as it is unveiled what will happen in the finale. So join us in our live chats and our live discussions in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. And you can do that today on Facebook by joining up with Talking the Dead 18 Plus and the Walking Dead fan base. Well, Daphne, as the quintessential person that knows everything or as much as possible about The Walking Dead, it is truly always a pleasure to have you on the show. Got to bring you back on because The Walking Dead universe always seems to evolve, always seems to change, and always seems to have something new thrown at us. Always indeed. But it is always a pleasure having you on the program, and I look forward to our next conversation right here at the Pop
And I do too.
Cosmos.
All right. Thank you.